you guys know if you go high angle, it makes it look like you have less of a double chin? I had a girl point that out to me off our last podcast. Down here, this doesn't look good. You see this? But if I simply bring it up here, look, far more dapper.
I don't think our friends with the beard mind too much.
Yeah, I need a ladder to get rid of this double chin. Fuck. We're gonna put it up here.
Are you guys
Gerry, I just wanted to say something to our guest real quick. I mean, thank you for joining us. And in doing a little bit of research, I hadn't realized that you had gained internet fame.
I'm not famous, man. First of all, thank you. I appreciate it for you guys even inviting me. But on that note, I'm not famous. I'm a nobody. It just so happens that fucking weirdos follow me, man. Mostly men.
Yeah, well, you're on like a podcast tour. I didn't even realize that. Like, throw your name into the interweb and all kinds of shit pops up.
So I've done 2 other podcasts recently. One with Jeff and I were just talking about this with Circa Craft, and the other one with A&R Design, Alex Costa. So we just did a podcast like less than 2 weeks ago. And honestly, because I've already known Alex for a long time, for many years, we're good friends. It was just 2 dudes shooting the shit, dude. That's all it was.
Right.
And that's basically what this has turned out to be.
Yeah.
Good.
Don't get offended when I make fun of your fucking anime shit either.
Oh no, don't get offended if I make fun of your accent or something. I mean, it's equal, dude. Trust me, we're good.
Perfect. It's the internet, man. Fucking don't get feelings hurt so quick.
Yeah, there's no fun. There's thick skin all around here, dude. Even down here where I circumcised. Don't worry.
Shit, look, he's already going there, boys.
It's thick down there too. Don't worry.
Thank God.
All right. Well, it looks like we started. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce. This is episode number 4 of the UGB podcast, and as always, joined by my buddy Sawyer of FMG Precision Coatings in California. We've got John, who is an aspiring Uber driver, and Gerry from Triple Feed. Very, very excited to have you, Gerry. Thanks for coming on. I'm gonna jump right into it like I always do. What is your background? What do you do? What is it you say you do for a living?
So Jay had it right over here, man. He said I'm a mysterious man. That's why I'm cloaked in fucking darkness right now. So I do a lot of everything, man. My main bread and butter that pays the bills, that pays for everything, that pays for Triple Feed. Really, it's I do executive protection for one client, for them and their family. I've been doing that for well over a decade now, but I've been working for one particular family for 6 years.
The whole time?
Yeah. But I work for one particular family, and it's been for that same family for over 6 years now. This week, it marks my 6-year mark with that one family. But I'm also in law enforcement. So I used to be an active duty police officer with LAPD for 10 years. And that's what kind of transitioned me over to the executive protection side. I'm still a reserve officer now for a smaller agency east of LA. And then I'm one of 3 owners of Triple Feed. So that's another adventure that we just started, actively started with business licenses and whatnot, like maybe 7 months ago now.
Man, I'm super fucking pumped about this because this is going to lead into a lot of cool shit.
Any kind of military background?
Yeah, I did 4 years in the Marine Corps from 02 to 06, straight up Pogue. I was with 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines out of Lejeune for most of my time.
What is
for a minute?
What is Triple Feed?
What is Triple Feed? Okay. So the company Triple Feed, there's 3 of us. One of them is a civilian photographer, videographer that also does executive protection, and he's a firearms instructor. There's a second guy who is a combat controller, former active duty combat controller, who is now in the Air National Guard as a combat controller still. And then, and he's also an instructor, firearms instructor. And then there's me. I've done executive protection, or still currently do it, law enforcement, EP, but I also do firearms instructing. So that's actually one of my other jobs, is I'm a firearms instructor. And collectively together, we're an eclectic group of just weirdos that come from every kind of corner of the firearms industry. You know, we got civilian, we got law enforcement, military, and then we got, you know, a tier 2 operator type of guy. So it's kind of like one of those, what I've noticed in the gun community is, you know, if you're infantry or special forces, you kind of just stick to your own crowd. If you're law enforcement or a fucking banana dragger, you know, some kind of first responder, hose dragger, then you stick to your own fucking kind. Or if you're a civilian, you're fucking lost most of the time, and you just go, whatever, I do whatever the fuck I want anyways. So yeah, I mean, trust me, I'm pretty civilian now myself, even though I'm still, you know, law enforcement. I have a civilian mentality for a lot of things. But we kind of came together to prove that you could get along. I mean, it's just 3 dudes that have a similar, different walks of life, but similar likings and similar things that we like, and we're rocking it, dude. We're loving it, and we're kind of trying to prove to everybody that you could be cool with everybody, no matter your fucking background, man.
Hey, fucking men, thank you.
Yeah, you, Jerry, you said something that I thought was kind of cool, and you highlighted it, and we highlighted on here, I think about every episode, and it falls back to the ego thing. And there's a lot of guys that get trumped up on their own juice, and they're too cool for school, they're too cool to hang out, and it's like, you know, myself, John, and Jeff all come from totally different walks of life, backgrounds, and we find a way to be cohesive.
Guns kind of being the glue, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and I get that same vibe from you. We know some people similar that we've been able to be interacting with, and they also have that low profile ego, which I enjoy. I find that to be the most what's the word I'm looking for? It just speaks volumes rather than actually having to say something, and I get that, and I like that. So I do appreciate that, and I think that's great, and it sets a good example for other people out there. I think that there's a lot of that needs to be broken down, and I think I never like to use the word community when it comes to the firearms industry, because there's not a lot of close knit, like taking care of people. It's mostly dog eat dog. How can I undercut this guy? But I do like, there's a little bit of this new wave of, hey man, shut the fuck up and shoot and enjoy what you're doing. Nobody cares what you've done and where you're at and what are you doing now? How are you benefiting things now? And I think that's gonna, I mean, do you think that'll be the kind of the wave of the future for influencer types and you know, people coming out of the military to be involved, or coming out of police to be involved? Do you think they're going to be more cohesive with General Joes, you know?
So the term influencer I fucking hate. So
what do you
I honestly, it's just,
I'm a bad influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could influence this down here, and that's about it.
I'm a
dude.
shit poster. Doesn't that count?
Yeah, you're an official influencer now. I got a message about you from some girl. I mean, she wasn't pretty, but it starts somewhere.
Hey, not for you to decide if she's messaging you about it. Pass it on down, ladies. Send them on through. Sawyer and Bunker, even Jerry, they'll throw it to me.
Hey, do you have a blue star? Because I think you come off as somebody that has a blue star on your right next to your name.
Yeah, check mark.
A check mark, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
it is,
fucking check mark.
Jay looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking
I'll work
about?"
on one.
So
He's on a list, but when he moves into a new neighborhood, he's got to go knock on doors and tell everybody that he's there.
do his monthly check-ins. Every
Go
month.
ahead, Jerry.
Notify the PO.
So to circle back to your question, is it? Yeah, I'm gonna circle back. You know,
Revisit this.
I would love to say that it's the future of whatever the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck this is, but honestly, I'm just living my life, man. I'm living my life by the way my parents and my friends and my family have influenced me, and the people that have grown around me, both in the military, law enforcement, just in the civilian sector. I've tried to surround myself with people that have something to offer everybody else, and that they're not just about them. I've learned to cut out a lot of negative motherfuckers in my life, man, over the last few years, and that's actually helped me grow, and that's actually helped me just love life a lot more, and I feel like I want to give more to people before I even want to better myself. It's weird to put into words, but I wish and I really hope and pray that the community does understand that humility is like the number one thing when it comes to this shit. Like, just be humble. Be humble. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Check your ego at the door and come in with open arms and an open mind about things. And if you don't like something, fuck it. Just keep it to yourself. But that's about it. Like, all this shit talking and this belittling other people, just keep it to yourself, dude. Like, it's cool. And like, I'm okay if we call somebody out because they're being dicks, like what we were doing with Homeboy the other day when they were fucking talking shit on Crom. Like, that's stupid. Like, why would you fucking make fun of a kid like that? That, and we could go into that rabbit hole later on, but I mean, just humility amongst the community. That I think that's what we need the most, is just be humble about what you are. Nobody really cares what you, I mean, people do care about what you did, and resumes do mean something, but to what extent?
Kind of like John said, or Sawyer said, what are you fucking doing now? What are you about right now?
Yeah. I call it the Uncle Rico.
Let me ask you this: when it comes to humility, I mean, you certainly qualify as a true runner and gunner. I mean, unless Sawyer and Bunker are both fucking holding out on me, you're definitely the most qualified when it comes to fucking shooting and doing tactical shit. How much of it do you really think? Because it's hard for a guy like myself who hasn't lived the life. Admittedly, I mean, my role with guns is fucking around on a ranch and shooting shit because it's fun. I mean, if you need a guy that can smoke fucking prairie dogs at 300-400 yards, right here, I got him all day.
I'll call you, bro.
But when it comes to really doing the tactical shit that you see on the gram, how many people do you think that are really out there that would be an air quote influencer, or people that have real fame? How many of them do you think have really done it? And that's something I ask out of a position of naivete, I believe it would be said.
Naivete, that's a fancy French word. That's a $20 word right there.
I use them when I can.
You ordered a glass of wine somewhere.
So for me to sit here and say that I'm experienced and that I've done this and I've done that, I fall way short on dudes and gals that have really, really seen shit in their life, be it military, law enforcement, or be it in the civilian side. Have I seen stuff? Yeah, I guess. I think working South Central for, the time that I did expose me to a lot of craziness, but that's not an open, or a get out of jail free card for me to just flaunt that and throw it around to people and go, well, I've seen this and I've seen that. Now, what I truly real life experience in certain things does qualify you to either teach or to talk about certain things. 100%, yes, it does. But there's more than one way to fucking skin a cat, guys. I mean, you could do shit. You could do shit a million different ways and still be able to quantify your answer by doing a live demo or by putting your tactic or your skill against said fucking person. So,
Gerry, you know what? I think there's something that we're missing here, and it's something that you're dancing around, and we've got a glaring example of exactly what you're talking about. More of a mutual friend with you, an acquaintance of mine, somebody that's a great, I don't want to use the word hero, but someone I look up to because of the way he conducts himself, Mike.
Yep.
You're talking about a guy, like, no shit, went from being a mogul in I'm not going to talk too much on his person, but he was a mogul in his industry, right? Literally. Yep. And the dude just decided one day, he woke up and he goes, I'm going to be one of the best firearms instructors there is. And I want to be a SWAT cop. And he made it happen. To me, that's fucking badass. That's bragging rights. So when you're so focused and dedicated and committed to doing something and you make it out of nothing, that is the ultimate. So like, just, I don't have his permission to even mention any of this stuff, and I don't want to, go too deep into it. That's why I say I just admire that, and I admire that mentality. So I think you were nailing it on the head there, and it's just, there's people out there like that have done, I don't talk about my military stuff because it's the same reason you said. It's like, I was a CV dude. I was building shit, albeit, you know, I was in Afghanistan and East Africa, but I was fucking hammering nails and running, you know, building bases for Marines. Did I go to school? Sure. Did I get certs? Sure. That doesn't mean shit now. That was 2009. I'm 38 years old, 37 years old. I'm outdated. Everything that's changed is now. What do you do now? You know, so shit,
Gerry,
I'm
I
gonna
kind of
take one
want
of your
to.
classes.
I want to hit on something you said that is kind of skewing off in a little bit different direction, but it's really interesting to me because I've kind of gone through it. You had mentioned getting rid of the negative people in your life to live a more positive life and more fulfilling life. And you know, I don't want to say I've just eliminated a bunch of people, but I get what you're saying because I've been there and done that. And did you find what I found was that's fucking tough. It was for me anyways. I mean, or were you just like a cold turkey, fucking get out of my life, I'm done with you? Or was it a process?
For some people, it was straight up cold turkey. It was, you've done me dirty one too many times, and you know, shame on me for trying to give you more rope to hang myself on. And then for others, it was painful because they've been in my life for a long time, and it's not so much that they did me dirty or they did something to me. It's just the vibe they were giving and the negativity that was always spewing out of them, and just the constant aura and depression state that they were in just brought me down all the time. There was nothing. It was always, this whiskey glass is half empty. I'm like, motherfucker, it's half full, man. Have fun with it. And
you know, I think I've been that negative person in people's lives before too. So I mean, it's not like I'm saying holier than thou. I think people have probably had to get rid of me too. But in my experience, just from what I've been through, I don't know. Is that something anybody else wants to touch on? To me,
well,
that's.
I'm gonna quickly. I've been that negative person too. I was extremely pessimistic about life on certain things, especially during certain periods of my time where just everything was negative for me. Everything, like, oh, look at that motherfucker walking down the road. Fuck, who the fuck does he think he is? Like, even down to stupid shit like that. I was always talking shit. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why? I had somebody that was really close to my life call me out on that. And I'm like, God damn, I'm a piece of shit, dude. Like, I really am a piece of shit.
Yeah, I love this because we've talked about this every fucking episode about being able to look at yourself and things objectively, and a lot of motherfuckers just can't do it.
Yeah,
It's the ego, man. There's a mind block. You see yourself.
Life will chin check you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got.
I mean, you know, I had an incident happen 2017. Changed my whole life, you know, and I look at the circle that I now surround myself with, and they are people that brought me up out of the dark places that I was. I mean, I lost somebody as close to me as one could get, and spent a couple of years, I mean, hoping to God the demons that were fighting inside of me to kill me, and when they wouldn't, I prayed to God that the Maker's Mark would. And it turned.
Now, I'm not laughing at you, dude. I get it.
It turned me into a fucking rotten fucking animal, man. And, you know, I got lucky that I dried up and got surrounded by people who were positive, and at my worst picked me up and said, you can be better than this. People that pushed me and said, John, this ain't who you have to be. It's who you're fucking choosing to be. And I think that's a big part of life, is personable accountability. People being able, I mean, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror sometimes and know that you're fucking up and that you got to fix it. We make who we are.
Amen. And I know Sawyer and I have talked about it. I mean,
Dude,
not speaking for you, but I know you've been through some shit like that.
I will say this. I've been living in, you know, I've lived in a almost $1 million home, and within, you know, 3 weeks I was living in a storage unit. And I've, you know, lucky enough to, you know, repurchased a home, or in the process of doing so. And, you know, obviously I'm not in a storage unit now, but, you know, years ago.
I am.
Yeah, he's like, this is actually a
Green screening it. I know you are.
Yeah, right. But we talked about this in episode 1, and I think a lot of people actually were pretty stoked that we went down that road because it shows some visceral, it just shows some character. And I think that's something that and I said this before, until you lose just about everything and until you really struggle and go through the hard loss and just realize like, I am nothing. I am nothing. I'm nothing without my friends. I'm nothing without the support of those around me who love me. I'm nothing without the, my family. I'm nothing without my, my support groups. We as men, human men, we stand on our own 2 feet, right? But we're propped up by our friends. I've called Jeff and I've been in the dumps and he's like, dude, let's talk it out. And we're on a big time difference. And, he's been there, supported me through some tough times when, it was rough. And, myself and John have had I think we had a 2-hour phone conversation the other night about this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you look at people and they smile and they wave and they go about their business. And you think, yeah, that guy, he's got it all together, but they don't know really truly what's going on inside somebody's head unless they sit
You
down.
never know. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned. You never know what other people are going through.
Yeah. So I just learned to stop treating people. And I was that guy, Jerry. I did it too. I was a prick. I admit it 100% at fault. And I learned to shut the fuck up because I don't know. And how dare I make a judgment on somebody else? It might have just taken every last ounce of your constitution to get the fuck out of bed and put on a clean pair of trousers. And I come out, you come out onto the street and I'm like, hey, nice pants, faggot. And it's like,
yeah,
what am I serving? What end am I doing? And it's like, dude, at that point, you're the lowest of the low. So I don't live my life like that anymore. Ego had to go. I mean, it's important to have a strong sense of self, but I think ego, and I keep quoting my favorite book, Dune, ego is fear is the mind killer, and ego is just one step away from fear. And I don't know.
Jerry, something that we touch on, I mean, it seems like weekly we come back to this subject, guys, but something we touch on, and I'd like to hear your side of it, because I think you do bring a different perspective than us, is what do we do with the divide? And like we were talking, it's one thing to shit talk. It's one thing when Bunker puts up something and I just shit post on his Instagram page, or when, Sawyer does and I do the same. Or, I mean, I've even been taken to commenting on your page and I think you do things that are stupid, like mustache anime things with tits. I mean, like, you're fucking weird, dude. But that's you. Do your own weird. What do we do and I hate to bring it into the Instagram community, because I don't think the firearms community revolves around fucking all holy Instagram. But what do we do as a community, for lack of a better term? What do we do to make it so it's not just such a fucking bash and shit talking place? And I'll admit it, I'm the first one to do it. Jerry, your fucking love for fucking pointy objects is, I'm going to start commenting on that on your page as well, because I fucking despise them. But we'll get to that here later, I'm sure, because we get there every week too. But what do we do with the gun community, man? How do we make it so it's not just guys talking shit, not this constant competition of I'm cooler than you?
So the first thing you got to realize is it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. So can it get smaller or can it dwindle? Yes, I think it can. I think the only way to do that, or one of the ways that you could do it, is kill them with fucking kindness, man. You kill motherfuckers with kindness. You just smile, nod, and hey, you do you, man. You do you. I'm gonna go and do me with these people, and I'm gonna show them how cool of a person I am. And I don't mean that like I'm cooler than them. I mean, like, show them that I'm a respectable, moral fucking person. Show them that I could be kind, that I could offer them something, and at the same time, they could offer me something and go, hey, dude, like, that's really cool. Can you show me that? Hey, that's really cool. Can we shoot together? Hey, that's really cool. Like, what are you working on over there? Like, don't be so close-minded about your little tight niche circle. You're not cooler than everybody else. Trust me. There's somebody bigger, badder than fucking you in a different room, and you need to fucking surround yourself with those people. Like, just surround yourself with as many people as you fucking can. Kill them with kindness. But at the same time, there's gonna be fucking memers. There's gonna be fucking people that talk shit. There's gonna be people that create fucking 5, 6 different fucking accounts just to shit talk you. That's just the way it is. It's gonna fucking always happen. So to say that how do we get rid of it? You're never gonna get rid of it, bro. You're never gonna get rid of it.
Rise up around it.
Don't wise up around it. Don't buy into it, and don't feed into it. Don't like why would it's like arguing with a fucking 5-year-old kid. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I've got one son who's older, and I have one son who passed away.
Okay, so I have a 10-year-old son. I try not to argue with my 10-year-old son because he's always going to think he's right. He's always going to think he's fucking right. So at the end of the day, I'll either punish him to show him that he's wrong because he really did something wrong, or if it's something that's semantic, I go, you know what? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I love you. Cool, whatever. It's almost like that. Sometimes you have to treat people like they're fucking children and just smile and fucking wave and go, you know what? Yeah, cool. Or don't even give them the time and day, dude. Don't even fucking give them the time and day. That's how I've been trying to do things. Like I've had a lot of people talk shit, but most people realize that I don't feed into that shit. And I just go, all right, cool. Unless it's something that's very blatant, like, oh, like I'm just gonna fucking talk out loud. You know, black people are bad, or fucking Mexicans are fucking, you know, they're scumbags. And I go, time out. Like, no, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to go, no, let's not go that route.
There's shit talking and there's making a stand. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But if they're just being fucking jerks to be jerks, I'm not going to fucking buy into it, dude. I'm not going to buy it because that's what they want. They want a reaction, dude. They want a fucking reaction. It's like that crazy ex-girlfriend that you had, dude. She just wants a reaction. You know,
I had a dude comment on, so he sent me a DM. I don't ever really get him about stuff like this, but a guy just was like, posted something in my story and he goes, that looks like absolute dog shit to me. And I go, oh, okay. Well, you know, most of the stuff I do sucks. So, you know, I'll probably do it again. Maybe I'll get better. Maybe I won't. Crickets.
Yeah.
And I learned, like you said, Jerry, it's like, no, man, fuck you, I'm an expert. No, I'm not. I'm just a guy. I don't care what. Number one, I don't give a fuck what you think. I mean, not you, Jerry, but general people. I appreciate compliments. I appreciate people doing stuff with me. But at the end of the day, it's like we're all sharpening our knives, you know, to speak metaphorically, every day, right? You get up and you try to suck less every day. So when people
I sharpen pointy G10 objects.
Yeah, as long as it's not G10. You know, they try to put a stick in your spokes as you're riding down the road. And it's like, again, I go back to the fear thing. And it's like, you're too scared to do something. So instead, you're going to spend your time that I'm spending bettering myself. You're going to spend that same time trying to instigate, get a rise, break down, tear me down. And I'm not gonna let that happen because I'm too focused on what
you just got to cut him off, Jerry. Go ahead.
It's that one. Like, why would you wait? You hit it. Why would you waste all your energy on that one motherfucker that wanted to talk shit when there's so much more positive fucking time that you could be doing something that you can focus your energy on that's going to better you or better the community or better somebody else.
Yeah, I could be talking shit about John instead of dealing with him, and I like that better. That's more fun.
One thing I've struggled with my 8, soon to be 9-year-old grandson is trying to teach him how to not take himself so seriously that he can't make fun of himself for goofing. You know, you fuck something up, you know, laugh about it and go on. And I think that kind of moves on into adulthood to where these motherfuckers, and again, I know we talk on it a lot, but they take themselves so seriously they can't laugh at themselves. And if you can't laugh at yourself, you sure as fuck shouldn't be making fun of anybody else. You know?
What happens when you fuck up and you're so serious? It's like, I've been there, thought I was cooler than shit. And you know what? I showed my ass on something and the fall was so much harder, not even from anybody else's outside perspective, but my own, when I had that realization of, wow, you're just a fucking dumb shit, just like everybody else. And you think you're cooler. And that makes it even worse because you fucked up just as bad and you fooled yourself into thinking that you were better than that. So it's a twice-fold injury. So
all this kind of takes us and I'm excited to talk about it because I was part of it. But the whole Mighty Crom thing, Gerry, you caught wind of that. I don't know how you caught wind of it. I don't know if Dependa talked to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
yeah, please. Please.
So, I mean, is that what made you want to jump in on this and help out with it, or?
No. So, how do I say this? So I ran into his TikTok video that it just went viral over the internet. It went viral over social media. Only social media account that I have is that I actively like look at all the time is Instagram, and one of these meme pages.
Just for reference, you're talking about the one of him banging mags and that Nerf gun.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the one. The one that went fucking completely viral, and he was doing transitions, reloads on the Nerf gun. And I saw it, and I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's better than most cops. Like, he's fucking fast, dude. And I realized it's a Nerf gun, but if you are any kind of a fucking human being, you could tell that Crom is a very special child. Is a very special child. Just based off of the way he talks and based off of the way that he makes his videos and the way he like interacts with the camera, you could tell that he's a very special child. And I mean that in a very good way. I don't mean that in any derogatory way. He's a good kid. He's a special child. And I saw that and I go, that's fucking dope, dude. And I'm like, let me see what people are talking about, because I saw the little comment box and I said, oh, there's a lot of comments. And I clicked on it. 90% of the comments, dude, were fucking negative, dude. So negative, condescending, talking shit. Just, I don't even want to say the shit they were talking about. Just so negative. And it got me thinking. I go, fuck, man. I remember as a kid getting picked on for being like whatever. Like I used to have really bad fucking acne in high school, like horrible, horrendous acne. Bad. It was all over the under. I have scars. I have potch marks all over to the day. And it doesn't, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. If women fucking like it, then whatever. If men like it, whatever. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I love it. It doesn't let me grow a beard. Like I have some scarring and it's bad. So, and I remember back in the 90s and early 2000s, people fucking making fun of me for this. And it really fucking like hurt me, but I got over it and I didn't give a shit. You know, I was like, whatever, dude, whatever. I don't give a shit. And it got me thinking, I go, how the fuck is this guy? Like, what is he thinking? Like, what is he thinking? Like this has to be affecting him one way or another. And, you know, he might say whatever, you know, and in hindsight, after I spoke to him about it, he did tell me that it really didn't affect him. Like he tried to just blow it off. But, you know, anybody talking shit to anybody, it's going to affect you one way or another, even if it's little. It might get you thinking like, did I really do something stupid? No, I didn't. But it wasted that 1 second for you to think.
It planted the seed.
It planted the fucking seed, right? It planted the seed. So I talked to my boys, Brian and Luis, the other members of Triple Feed, and I said, hey guys, like I really want to do something for this guy. Like, let's bring him and his family out. Like, let's bring him to Vegas. Let's just show him a good time. Let's show him that and this is Sawyer's fucking favorite word, the community is not a fucking piece of shit dick fucking cesspool. That we are good people. There's a lot of good people. There's a handful of, like maybe a small percentage.
It might be a cesspool, but it don't mean you can't float on top of it.
Thank you. That's a good analogy, actually. It's probably a single digit percentage of pieces of the shit that are floating around there that want to talk shit to this guy. And most of us are fucking decent people. We really are. I mean, we have our fucking skeletons in our closet, some more than others, but I mean, for the most part, we're all morally good fucking people. And I just wanted to show him that we're not all dicks. So I contacted Homeboy, which you're going to redact. And then I somehow you and I got hooked up together too, Jeff. And eventually I got in touch with his mother. I wanted to do it the right way. I didn't want to contact him directly because I knew he was already getting a lot of shit. And I contacted his mother and I made a small little video clip. I don't know if Jeff, if you saw the video clip initially.
Yeah.
So I basically, in short summary, I asked him, you know, if he wanted to, we'd be willing to fly him out to Vegas, all expenses paid, to train him for like 2-3 days and just to show him a good time, you know. And he accepted it, and the community really got together, and a lot of like the special projects community, a few friends that I know got together and they pitched in money, gear. A few companies got together and just donated shit. And if it wasn't for them, it would have been really difficult for me to pay for all this because it did get expensive. I mean,
Yeah, that shit ain't cheap, man.
no, it's not. Especially last minute fucking booking of hotels in Vegas and a flight. It's not cheap. I would have had to have pulled a small loan, and I would have done it if I would have, if push came to shove, I would have done it. But I would have dipped into the savings account or something. But he accepted, his mom accepted, and they came out. And dude, I want to say that it was more pleasurable for me than it was for him. Like I had such fucking
My question is, who do you think got more out of it? And yeah,
I had a great time, dude. And then,
in that big ogre's fucking face too every time we talk about it.
yeah, I mean, I had a fucking amazing time. I got to bond with somebody that I like, just some random stranger, dude, that had a good heart. And his mother just had a fucking amazing heart. They were so respectful, so grateful. So it was amazing. And I don't do shit for gratitude. Like I don't do shit because I want to get a thank you or a pat in the back. I want to do it because I want to like truthfully help people. But it did feel good to have people like thank me. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like they're thanking me. Like I don't want to thank you. I just have a good time. Like this is what you're here for, to have a good time. Yeah.
You know,
I wasn't expecting anything in return. Like I don't want anything in return. But it was nice when somebody said, hey, thank you for this. Like, oh, like it wasn't all me. Like I can't take credit for this. This was all these people behind me that fucking helped. Like it was everybody. It was not only Triple Feed. It wasn't like just me. It was Triple Feed. It was Jeff. It was, it was Homeboy. It was.
There's a lot of moving fucking parts.
Oh, dude, tons of moving parts. And I was really grateful at the end of the day of how it rolled out and how it played out. And like we're planning on possibly either bringing him back out in the future or doing something very similar again with somebody else. Like we just
a question on that, and part of what I've gone on in recent in our previous podcast and talked about is what do we do to fix the state of affairs of the gun community? And a big thing that I always come back to is that so many people that are against guns, when you get them out and get them around them, and once they get over the bang and the scare and those shit, like, not everybody that shoots a gun is evil. I mean, do you think that there is a possibility, or that as a group there would be enough groundswell behind it to do something like, maybe it's not for kids, maybe it's for adults that are on the fence? I mean, but is there a way to do something similar? I mean, I know there's public ranges all over, but to do something similar to bring people out who otherwise wouldn't have a chance to shoot firearms and to do that.
I mean, it would take a lot. And let's just be real. Most people that are anti-gun let's just call it how it is. They're fucking liberals, man. I mean, they're all liberals and they're gun grabbers, and that's what they are. But they're scared of what they don't know. That's what it is. They're scared of what they don't know, or they're scared of what the media or what the politicians are telling them to be scared of. That's what it comes down to. I mean, how to fix that? I mean, the only way is, again, smiles and fucking, and waves is what I'm, hearts and minds, I guess. It comes back to hearts and minds. I've actually, because of how I am and how I interact with people, I don't limit myself to just like the gun community when it comes to my social media platform, or when it comes to people in general. Like most people that meet me on the street, they have no idea that I'm a cop, that I work what I do, that I'm a gun enthusiast, that I teach, that I'm an instructor. They just think I'm a fucking weirdo. And that comes back to my whole, oh, you fucking anime shit and you're fucking weird. And yeah, I am weird. I am weird. However, I also do this other shit that fucking hardcore cowboys do. And I also do this shit that fucking, X, Y, and Z do. I'm like, I'm kind of like this weird in between kind of fucking dude. And people are more willing to look my way and go, oh, you like this, but you also like that. Okay, I guess I'll listen to you, I guess. And it's really hard, dude. Like to bridge that gap, there has to be a common like, or a common something that you have in common with said culture, said people, in order for you to bridge that gap. That's the only way that I could see it happening, is you have to be open to the same, not the same shit, but something that they're open to.
You know,
Sorry,
I was thinking about something that Gerry had said about just kind of being open to the fact that you know there are these differences in interests and stuff, and it kind of got me thinking. And it was just something about Crom. I know he's a young man, and I remember at his age, in that ballpark age range, there's not a dude I know that wasn't a weird little motherfucker. And I was a weird little motherfucker playing with GI Joes and building, you know, we used to do all kinds of weird shit out in Michigan. We'd build suits of armor. My neighbors thought we were crazy, and we played with Nerf guns. But when I saw him, I kind of was like, that's every kid. That's everyone. That's all of us, right? All of us gun enthusiasts, whether it stopped at Nerf or went on to belt fed weapons or whatever it may be, we all started somewhere. So I was so blown away that there was any kind of negative things, because it's like, show me a man that hasn't at one time in his life, whether it's from the age of 8 to 15, didn't pick up an airsoft gun, didn't pick up a Nerf gun, didn't fashion something out of cardboard,
A fucking stick.
anything, and run around in the backyard playing, like we used to play GI Joe, take your deaths, man. You were out in the open, you got hit. We didn't have anything. So
You missed me. You missed me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're a small target. So it I don't want to say it breaks my heart, but it upsets me, and it makes me wonder about my own actions, because those are the only things I can control. And I think to myself, I'm like, that could have been me. That could have been John. That could have been you, Gerry. That could have been any of us at that age. And I was fortunate, I think, because I would have been ridiculed on the internet as a kid. Absolutely. Thank God that there was no internet, because I was a fucking total nerd. I read comic books and I like to fucking build stuff. That was not cool.
Probably be in fucking prison.
I got a good one. I used to okay, so everybody makes fun of, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, everybody makes fun of the band, right? Oh, the fucking band. You're not even in the sport, you're in the band. Dude, I wasn't even in the band. I used to hang out with the band. That's how much of a fucking nerd I was, okay? I used to hang out. I wasn't even in the band. I couldn't make band. I hung out with the band, okay? I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, okay, guys? That was my fucking club.
Gerry, you can tell us. Were you a faggot or a baton twirler?
Oh no, it would have been, it would have been flag, right? That's what it is. Flag. That's
color guard. Color guard is what they
color
call
guard.
It.
Okay, color guard.
I was not in it, but I knew some ladies in color guard. That definitely perks to hanging out with the band department. So. No, and you know what, man? Now that you're older, I mean, think about it. Like, I look back on some of the stuff that I did as a kid, and I wanted to play a couple different sports when I was a kid. And my parents were like, "No way, dude. Guess what you're doing? You're playing the violin." And I'm like, okay. And then when I got into high school, I was got
into competitive gymnastics.
I can still do the splits to this day. No, but I'm actually happy, and it's like the guys that I knew at that stage in my life where I was like doing, playing violin, and I was like, I really want to play football with my friends. And my mom was like, no, man, you're going to do something like in the arts. You're going to read, and you're going to play the violin, and you're going to learn, a foreign language, and you're going to travel. And everybody was doing football and playing baseball. And now all those dudes that I knew that were doing that, they got 6 kids, they work at the local steel mill, and they fucking hate their life, and they drink it away. And now, I get to do cool shit and talk to people like you. I think that's pretty neat. And I think a lot of that shapes us, even though it's at the time, it's kind of like, well, that's not very cool. And it's like, well, who are you? Who are you? Are you the king of cool? Are you the judge of jive? Like, who the fuck put you in charge? And it's like, yeah. And I said this earlier, it's the Uncle Rico thing. It's like, yeah, I was captain of the football team back in 1984. Well, it's 2021. You're 80 pounds overweight and you fucking suck. So what are you doing now?
and they refuse to fucking see that in their own eyes, and it's a weird paradigm.
I don't, you know, go ahead, live in the past, man, because the clock just keeps spinning, and
They call it the Al Bundy syndrome.
Al Bundy syndrome. I always call it Uncle Rico because I think about Napoleon Dynamite, where he's like, yeah, if coach would have put me back in the third quarter, we would have won. I could pitch a pigskin over them there mountains. And it's like those people, I keep that mental image of Uncle Rico in my head, because I'm like, I don't ever want to be that guy. I don't ever want to, like, my best years are behind me. Like, man, back in 2020, I went and saw this celebrity, or I did this, or I did that. And it's like, dude, what's tomorrow going to bring? How are we going to sharpen our G10 blade today? You know, and it's like, yeah, that's
you guys.
That's
I want to switch gears a little bit, if it's all right. We got Gerry on here, who is former law enforcement, still part-time, correct?
Yeah, so did full-time with LAPD, and then now I'm a reserve, but I'm still level 1 reserve, so I still have, you know, a badge, a CCW, a gun. I still have arresting. I just don't get paid.
Fucking great.
Yeah, right.
There's several things I want to get.
They talked you into the good
on.
job.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Last episode, John brought up the idea of everybody open carrying, and I'm going to ask John to go into it in just a second. But what I got out of it when he talked about it was an entirely different perspective than what I ever had before, because I always had that thought process of there's no need to show off a gun. You're drawing attention to yourself, and, you know, just cover the fucker up and go on with life. Don't be that guy. But when John went into this, I'm not so sure I'm not spun 180. John, give us your thoughts on the open carry deal.
Two things. I think number one, I think you do have some of that public perception. I think, does it really work as a deterrent? Hell, I don't know. I mean, I think bad people are going to do bad shit regardless of situation. The big thing I think it does, and I don't want to over normalize or make, I mean, we all have that one buddy who's way too comfortable with guns, and you're like, boy, clear me with the muzzle one more time and I'm going to beat your ass to death with it. But I do think there's something to be said about taking guns out of this, tucking them away, hiding them, and letting them be a secret. And like, yeah, I have a gun, and it's not abnormal. I don't have it on because I'm looking to get in a gunfight. I have it on because it's my constitutional right, number one. Number two, because it's a hell of a lot more convenient for me just to carry it on my hip than to hide it everywhere I go. And I think that if, you know, open carry was more allowed or readily accepted in areas that weren't so rural, I don't think that you would actually have an overabundance of people walking around carrying guns. I mean, we all know that when there's these, you know, marches at capitals and whatnot, you've got the one guy that shows up with his, you know, long gun over his back. I mean, I was recently in Kentucky, and there's a Walmart that's damn near infamous for guys walking around in Walmart, because in Kentucky, you can open carry a long gun, and guys are running around with ARs and AKs strapped on them.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
I'm not saying to do it for that shock value, because I think that's incredibly negative to what we're trying to do. But I do think there's something to be said about all of a sudden when guns become less of this movie prop, and they're more seen in a mainstream eye, that I
trying to get rid of that stigma that guns are bad.
Yeah, I think when people, like I was talking about last week, I mean, when I see a mom walking into Murdoch's holding a baby on one hip, a Glock on the other, and her other hand's down carrying her kid, and she's not doing it in a flashy manner. I've seen her tons of times in town. It removes a lot of that oh shit from guns, and it just becomes I mean, people in this country forget, guys, that like we have a right to firearms. And while I understand that, I do believe we're privileged in this country to have that right. I also think that the same reason today I'm flying. When I fly, I opt out. I'm not going through your fucking scanner. Do I think that the microwaves are going to kill me? No. Do I think that they're going to alter my genetic structure? No. Do I really care if you see a microwave image of my boner? No, not at all.
John, take off your hat. I want to make sure there's no tinfoil lining on the inside of it.
I had a hair. I do. It's receding a little bit. It's been a couple stressful years, but I'm all right. But I simply opt out and go for the pat down because I truly believe, guys, that if nobody does it, eventually that just gets washed by the wayside. All of a sudden, going through their fucking scanner just becomes normal because everybody does it. Well, fuck what everybody does. I don't have to go through your fucking scanner, so you can pat me down. And I hope you get slightly uncomfortable when I smile as the back of your hand graces my crotch. And that's just life. I mean, it is what it is.
Don't mind the bulge.
I think so, Gerry.
I think the same thing with guns. If you don't open carry them, and if we don't exercise our right, it's far too easy for it to just be washed away.
Jeff, hey, before you switch gears, I got a question for Gerry, and I think as a police officer, you're probably the best qualified person to answer this. But do you believe, and this goes back to open versus concealed, that the best weapon for self-defense is the one that they don't know you have? Or do you believe that the open carry is more of a mental deterrent versus just an easy way for a bad guy to take something from you, if that makes sense?
No, and it makes perfect sense. Just speaking off of personal experience, the element of surprise is everything. It really is. At the same time, there are deterrents, but somebody here said this just like minutes ago. If a bad guy wants to fucking do something, they don't give a fuck what you're wearing on your hip. They don't care what uniform you're fucking wearing. They don't care how many tattoos and how big your beard is. They don't care how many fucking rippling muscles you have. If a bad guy wants to do something, they're going to fucking find the will to fucking do it. That's one. Is it a deterrent? It depends on where you're at. I truly believe that it's a fucking mindset thing. And most people are not fucking trained up here to fight the fucking battle. They're just not. Most people aren't. Do I think that more people carrying overt or, on their hip or open carry is a good thing? If everybody started doing it, yes. But when you see onesies and twosies, it's not, it's just, it has to be a large collective group of people to do it. And the people that are making this a very bad stigma, again, and I go back to it, it's the media, it's fucking politicians, it's certain states that make it a fucking bad, ooh, guns are bad, but they're not bad. People are fucking bad. The tool is not bad. It's not bad. Personally though, I like the element of surprise. And like I said, I go back to the same thing. I'm regurgitating the same shit. It's all a mindset thing, dude. Like, I've seen too many videos and I've gone to too many fucking calls where people had their gun on display and they didn't prep and they didn't train for that one motherfucker that was going to take their gun or that one motherfucker that was going to challenge them. They did it. So there's pros and cons to both. I believe both of them are good. It all depends on your individual mindset, man. Like, if you're ready to fucking do work, then yes, 100%. Fucking open carry. I'm totally fine with it. Just, you better fucking know that your hip's there and that everyone's fucking looking at it. And if you're not,
I think part of that too, situational awareness. Gerry, you spoke of being a cop in South Central LA. If I walked in South Central LA with my cowboy hat on and you just dropped my ass off on the 9th block with my cowboy hat and a fucking giant silver revolver on my hip and said, go ahead and walk that block, I'd look at you and say, fuck you, let me back in the car. And that comes from situational awareness. Great, I got a gun on my hip. I'm not going to war with the fucking neighborhood, but in my town where I'm at, in my location, I'll be honest, people don't look. I mean, your gun might draw the ire or the cross eye from the tourists passing through, but that's it. People that live there don't give a shit. They say, well, I mean, you see it and you get used to it.
Yeah, it is definitely a cultural thing. It's definitely a regional and cultural thing. If you grew up around it, it's fucking normal, dude. I truly believe that, yes, it should be normalized, but it has to take a collective group of like a large collective group of people to agree on the same thing and say, hey, open carry should be allowed. But is it even allowed in certain regions? Like I think in California, and I'm a cop in California. I don't even fucking know the law. I think you could open carry, but you can't open carry loaded. Like then why fucking open carry?
Right.
Then why? Why the fuck?
We'll find out right now. I'll let you know.
Why the fuck are you gonna Israeli carry? Like, why are you gonna not have a fucking round in the chamber? Like, that's stupid. You're just asking to get fucking killed. That's what you're asking for,
right? No,
you know,
I'm with you. I mean, if you follow Bunk, I mean, you definitely know that we are fucking safety off and picker on the trigger. You know, I mean,
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, and I think you hit on something there. You know, you mentioned, I mean, if you're going to carry a gun, are you ready to do work with it? And I'll be honest, Gerry, like that's something that I think, I mean, I used to be the guy that carried a 9 on my hip and a 38, one of them scandium frame airweights on my ankle. And then finally I had the fucking epiphany or the realization. I'm in 7-Eleven and the place is getting robbed. I'm not going to be the fucking hero. I'm just not. You want to know why? Because I don't have enough emotional attachment to the situation, nor do I feel it's my place. I'm going to get real fucking small. I'm going to be the best witness I can. And I'm going to avoid a fucking shootout because I don't really want to be fucking part of one. That's me. Now, Gerry, you might go, fuck that. I'm going to double tap the son of a bitch right in the side of his head, drop his ass on the floor, and that's you. You know, and I think that that's everybody's own situation. But I also think anybody, my mom, Bunk just helped me out getting ammo for my mom. She just decided to get her concealed weapons permit. And I had a real sit down heart to heart with her. And I told her, I said, Mama, you have to understand, should you ever draw that weapon, your whole idea of pointing it to scare somebody off while you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, it don't work like that.
Yep.
If you're going to draw down on somebody, you are not thinking, draw, analyze, figure out what to do, scare them. You're pulling it out and shooting their ass, figure it all out later. You know?
So most people do not understand the psyche behind like why do you fucking carry? Is it because it's your constitutional right? Yeah, okay, maybe. But you have a responsibility as a responsible gun owner to know when and how and everything about that fucking firearm. It's you need to know, because push come to shove, the gun, like you said, is not a fucking deterrent to point at people. And it's, if you pull that fucking that gun, it's to fucking shoot it. It's to shoot. That's why you fucking take your gun out. As a responsible gun owner, if you pull your gun out, it's because it's the last ditch resort and it's immediate defense of your life or the defense of others, or some kind of great bodily harm or injury to you or somebody that you love. That's why you fucking pull your gun. It's not because, oh, the guy's fucking screaming at me and I need to pull my gun at them. Like, that's fucking stupid. That's stupid. Then you don't deserve a fucking gun. If you're going to be pointing
a gun, become a liability at that point.
Yeah.
You're just putting a lot, because if you're not, I would say if you're going to pull it out, you got to use it. I mean, and you got to be justified in the use of it. Otherwise, now you've just brandished a firearm and potentially put yourself in a risk of becoming, taking a ride in your car down to the station and having your rights stripped. And it's like, well, the guy, he said this, he said that, and we know there's that threat triangle that you've got to meet all the criterion for. So, yeah. And the answer on your California thing is counties under 200,000 people, it is at the discretion of the sheriff whether or not to allow open carry. So I can name about 0 counties.
Very
south.
California and how they wrote that.
It's all got to be up north in cow country, because there's no way. I mean, the city of Oxnard has more fucking people than that. So, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to see people open and carrying in California, just to be honest, because I don't think a lot of people out here have common sense with it, because they're not raised in a rural, like John, myself, and you were both from the sticks. You know, I grew up in the woods, and we'd carry shotguns. And if I saw somebody open carrying and it was some dude from South Central, I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It'd make the, you know, the short hairs stand up, and I would be uncomfortable. And I'm like, I'm pro firearm as they get, but I would feel, because I hate to say it, I would typecast. I would make a judgment, and I go, that dude looks like a bad guy to me. Why does he have a gun on his hip? And he could be an off-duty cop that dresses kind of, you know, urban or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to go talk to the guy. So I have to form that opinion out based off what I know. So I don't know.
Since we're talking guns here, and I mean, it's odd. This is, I think, one of the few times we've talked guns on our podcast so far. And Bunk, one that I wanted to hear from you, because you and I have briefly discussed it outside of this. 3 guns, rest of your life. What are they?
Oh, fuck. Are we talking caliber? What are we talking?
We're talking.
Everything?
You got 3 fucking guns to pick. What are you taking?
Well, you got a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
That's where the trickiest part for me.
Yeah, well, fucking shit's getting tricky, boy. End of the world's coming. The fucking the libertards are taking them, and they give you have a piece of paper where you declare your 3. What 3 you declaring?
Man, I've always been real hardcore about having a 22 long rifle, and I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how that fits into that 3-gun equation.
Well, that's one. What's two?
There might be eliminating the fucking shotgun, to be right honest with you, and that fucking freaks me out because I love shotguns. No,
No, and the only reason no is because what I love about shotguns is they're so versatile. You could use different cartridges for a lot of different things, and you're limited on a 22 rifle. So for me, I'm gonna overstep. I'm gonna overstep. So I do pick handgun, rifle, or carbine and shotgun, but I'm gonna be very specific. So I would probably choose my Glock 19, and I probably wouldn't use a red dot. And this is why, because end of the world, I'm not gonna find batteries for that bitch.
Oh fuck, Jerry's like me. He's thinking about the supplies. All right,
you're not gonna find batteries. So I'm gonna go with I have like a few Glock 19s. I'm gonna pick my ultra reliable with just iron sights. I know I could shoot my iron sights. I love my red dot, but I'm not gonna find fucking batteries for it for the rest of my life. I'm just not.
Is this Glock 19? Is it bone stock?
It doesn't matter because I have a few and I could shoot them all the same.
But I'm thinking, reliability. Or are you worried about that? Are you comfortable enough with some aftermarket parts in a Glock to?
There's very few. There's very few aftermarket parts that I trust long term. We'll go into that later on. Most of them are not reliable. OEM is the best for Glock, minus the sights.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, sights are always getting changed. I'm always gonna fucking change the sights on a Glock. That's the only thing that just sucks about Glocks is just the sights. Everything else, I could shoot the fucking stupid ass, half moon trigger. I don't give a shit. On my off duty carry, yeah, it's actually a flat trigger, but I could always change that. I mean, it's really simple to change anyways. But Glock 19, one. Yeah, that's one. Glock 19. 2, some kind of AR pistol. I have a few, and probably anywhere between the 12.5 and the 11.5 category, probably with some kind of magnification as a supplementary addition to it, but a red dot. Say again?
Put a can on it?
Fuck, if you give it to me, yes, why not?
Well, we're picking our 3 fucking guns.
Yeah, if I could get a can, fuck yeah, I'm gonna put a can on it. And then for me, a Remy 870, I'm surgical with that motherfucker, man. Surgical. And what I love about it is it's versatile. I could shoot fucking 100 yards with slug, or I could shoot and do some damage, or I could just give me buck or fucking bird shot if I'm hunting. So I'm good. I'm good with either or. So that would be my hunting shotgun. I'd be able to fucking go on missions with my rifle, and my sidearm is that's all reliable, man. That's my defensive fucking weapon. That's a weapon I could walk around almost butt ass naked and feel comfortable fucking wearing it, dude.
So
those are my end of the world shit.
On that carbine, and we're running a fucking stock because we don't care anymore. I'm assuming, correct?
I mean, again, remember batteries, short supply. So I'm going to have nods for a little bit, but I'm going to run out of fucking batteries after a while. So why
No,
have
I'm
a
just saying
laser
you're
on
not
it if
running a
it's
pistol
going to fucking
brace
go
on
dead?
this thing. You're
Yeah.
not running a pistol brace. But
There is no law. There is no law, Jeff. This is knock down, drag out. What do
my
you
main
bring?
question is, let's just say you're running a 12.5-inch gun. What's your thoughts on an LPVO?
Ooh. I just recently started fucking around with an LPVO, a 1-8 by AccuFire. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand.
I've heard of them, but I don't know.
I recently got introduced to them. I think they're out of Texas. So AccuFire. I got introduced to one of their marketing guys at a range day, and the guy's his name's Brandon, fucking dope dude, and he gifted me a 1-8, and so far I'm loving it, dude.
You are a fucking influencer.
No, he was there. He had no idea who I was, but he saw that I was running and gunning, and he goes, "Hey, we're kind of new, and we're trying to market our shit. Like, do you want to try our shit?" I'm like, "I'll try it, dude. Like, this is and fuck, dude, I'm really digging it, dude. Like, it's a dope ass 1-8. It's a
All
dope
5
ass
listeners are
1-8.
gonna buy an LPVO now.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, their stock
influence
is
them.
fucking just gonna fucking fly up, dude. I've never ran it hard, so I mean the jury is still out, but I'm digging it so far, dude. I'm digging it. Like, one thing that I've always been super against is something that's magnified and it's permanently magnified. Like ACOGs for me, fucking horrible, horrendous fucking optics.
Really?
I just don't like something that's always magnified, man. I don't like it.
What about like a 3-power or a 2-power? Like, don't you find that's easy to make acquisition on for close and a little bit elevated, 400 plus, but not so far out, but still being able to hit the 25 with it? I mean,
well, what's the mission? What's the mission here, dude? Like, are we like on
personal
deployment and
defense. I mean, just
fighting fucking insurgents? Are we? I mean, like, what are we doing?
It's the end of the world.
I don't think you have to split hairs like that. We're not shooting steel, but you've got, let's just say you've got people at mixed ranges, 25, 50, 100, 250, and you've got to move between those three, and you've got to make, you got to acquire and put accurate fire on it. You don't have time to be swapping between a magnifier back and forth, hitting licks on your presets. I don't want to speak out of my knowledge range. I like the 3-power. I use the it's not Night Force, it's the what the hell are those guys? They're the Spitfires. I've got it on my AK. I absolutely love it. But that thing is so versatile, sub 400, and anything out beyond 400, I'm not even concerned with. I'll just run away. You know what I mean? Like, bye, fuck you. So for an end of the world situation, a non-illuminated reticle and something like that, unless you take a hit directly to it, it's kind of going to do everything. In my opinion, it's going to do everything.
What guns are you running, Sawyer?
I know where, first off, John, I know where this came from because I already got pitched this thing and I was, kind of see where it went. And I talked with somebody. So I have a little bit more time to think about this. So I'm going to tell you, I'm cheating a little bit because I already knew about this, not from.
I've no doubt it'll be a dissertation.
Oh, absolutely. So AK-47 for the rifle with a 3-power shotgun and a revolver.
Okay, what kind of shotgun though? What kind of shotgun?
Mossberg 500 pump. Simple, easy, reliable.
Okay, is this because that's what you deployed with? That's what you had when you were
I have one now. I've had one. I've had the same Mossberg for, I don't know, maybe 15 years, and I've shot the shit out of it, and I've never had to do anything other than clean it. The same with the revolver. The fewer the moving parts. I mean, like we're talking, sub 100 range. The shotgun is a fantastically versatile platform. Like you said, Jerry, you can run the old tried and true famous sheepdog load and do the slug You know what I mean? And you can really get creative with that. And then with the versatility of, you know, what you can run through it. You know, you've got the option for chokes if you want to hunt. You've got the option for slug if you want to blow some doors open. I don't think that a semi-automatic shotgun's the way to go, just based on the fact
They're
that
finicky.
parts might be difficult to source for repair. I feel like if something broke in my Mossberg, I could go get a piece of sheet metal and hammer it out and fix it, you know. And then they do have a fairly well tested. I mean, obviously Benelli took over with the combat shotguns, but the Mossberg 500 was that was the original. It's not fancy, it's not expensive.
Why the
Everybody's got
AK
one.
over M4?
Say again.
Why the AK over an M4 or AR platform?
It's a fucking Tommy.
So yeah, because I'm a
Tommy.
communist. To be honest, it's
China.
100% to do with the fact that it's the most widely deployed weapon in the world, and I feel like ARs have just been I know they were used in Vietnam, but you know, you saw a lot more failures with the cycle of operation with the AR versus the AK. Where
I'm gonna use the head. I'll be back.
Where the AK, you have it, you know, I've seen the videos, and I know you guys have too. They fill the fuckers full of macaroni and cheese and goddamn Jello pudding, and they fire it, and it still fucking runs. You know, the cartridge is pretty much bulletproof. Most of them are steel cased. Obviously, the most ammo for the AK is surplus Russian, you know, and unless it's I don't know any American manufacturers of AK ammo, and if I'm showing my ass, I'm sorry, but I just don't know. So I get, you know, whenever I go buy a brick of 1,000, it's always like Wolf or some kind of Russian something. And I just imagine that other people are going to have that as well. Ballistically, I feel like, you know, I don't want to go the route of the 45 and be like, but my knockdown power, it's, you know, it's a bigger bullet. And
No, it is.
it has more damage.
John, what do you got?
This one's tough, man, and this one's tough due to actually a gun I got from you, buddy. That FM, it threw it all fucking off for me. Okay, I'd love to say it's Bean's bolt gun. You know, part of me wants to say Glock 19, my FMP9, because now I've got a cross carry. I can run same ammo, same mags, all of that shit. And I mean, even with that short little barrel, that thing will get out there and get some. And then I think I'd take a long gun. I mean, and I think I'd take my Creedmoor just because I do like being able to clear to 500 yards without thinking and 800 yards if I slow down and breathe. But I think if it really came down to it, fuck, man, and I hate to play into the I think I'd go revolver, and I'd probably take one of my Ruger Redhawks in a 44 mag, because it'd kill anything on the North American fucking continent that you need it to. I mean, I've got some of these like 300 grain fucking cast bronze bullets I've shot shit with before, and you're like, oh fuck that. Well, we're not eating that half. So I mean, I think I'd go Ruger Redhawk in a 44.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. How readily available is 44 fucking mag though, dude?
You come up to my house, I mean.
Okay, all right.
Reliable enough. I'll be okay for a while. I mean,
okay.
Let me put it this way: if I run out of ammo, I'm fucked anyway. So what's it? You know, and I think too, Jerry. I think once again we go to the. I think we go to the locale. You know, I think you go to, if I'm holed up where I live, 44 mag, I'll be okay. I'll be able to get it. But I think I would go to my Ruger Redhawk in 44 mag. I think I'd take, even though I do now have a primary weapons fancy one, I think I'd go with my fucking PSA banger.
Shut up.
Fuck you, dude. The thing fucking, it rocks. It fucking rocks. I have shot, when it fails, I will be the first one to put it on the gram and show everybody how I blew it up. Until then,
You're not. I don't fucking buy. You're not going into the world. Last 3 guns you can only have with a fucking PSA.
PSA all day, man. Dude, until somebody shows me one that's actually failed, it's all internet bullshit. Now, you and I have discussed what PSA did to their vendors and how that was a giant crock of shit.
I know.
Aside from that, dude, they're good. I trust that gun because I put fucking, I don't know, 5, 6, 8,000 rounds through the fucker, and I don't clean my gun. I run a fucking boar snake down through it to get carbon buildup out. And then I take my fucking Creedmoor. I mean, I think I do. I think that would be my fucking lineup, man. On my Creedmoor, I'd have a fucking, I've got a loophole on it right now, that I can get out there and get it with. On the carbine, I think I'd probably, I'd probably go to a variable power, one of these LVPOs. I just got one, threw it on that Beans gun. It's only a 1-4, but it works great. The reality is if I got to reach out farther than what that 4-power scope does, I'm grabbing the Creedmoor anyways. And on that Ruger, I mean, it's a 44, like fucking horseshoe on the back, post on the front. Let's get it.
Here's an exploded Palmetto State Armory upper. I mean, there's like 200 Google images of broken Palmetto State Armory parts.
Okay, yeah, but hold on here, and I'm not trying to fanboy PSA. They definitely attract.
Show me a broken gun. Okay, here's 200 of them. Fuck you. Dude, they're great. Look, man, it's a great truck gun, John. I'm not gonna argue with you on that, but I'm taking Bunker's side on this one. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way that I'm gonna take a budget.
You just said you take a fucking AK.
The AK will run with mud in it, and it's made out of sheet metal. Like somebody machined that, and it's still fucking broke. I don't buy it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like you hate me all you want, man. Actually, I was gonna pick a Lamat revolver, a percussion cap revolver, just because if I was gonna die, I want to die in style. So fuck.
I really like this conversation, and I kind of want to get Jerry's opinion on something really, really quick. And then on this same note, I've got a left turn I want to make. So Jerry, I don't know. I don't even know if you follow me on Instagram. But anybody that does knows I love the 9mm AR platform, Foxtrot Mike and specifically. What are your thoughts about, and for me, it would be a Glock 17, but a Glock 19, Glock 17 AR9 platform that takes Glock mags along with the shotgun? Are you like, fuck that, or is that a possibility?
No, because I'm not against it. I mean, so I have an AR platform 9mm. It's a blowback system that was it was completely Frankenstein, and I picked the fucking best parts and we put it together, and it actually takes 8 AR mags. It's just the followers, and they're Magpul mags, and the followers are actually 9mm followers. And I love that fucking platform, dude. It's like a great alternative to an AR, like a regular 5.56 AR, because it takes 9mm and it functions identical to all my ARs. I wouldn't consider that like a sub gun or anything, because it's a 8.5, so it's identical to some of my other rifles that I have. I've never really fucked with carbines that are chambered in 9 with Glock mags. I've never really fucked with them. I've just never had enough time to do it. Never had enough time. Most of the time that I'm at the range, I'm training with the shit that I have, that I personally own. I don't go off and like, oh, let me go try out somebody's fucking new guns. I just don't have time for that. Would I be willing to fucking do it? I mean, if somebody gave me one, I would definitely fuck with it, because I have tons of fucking Glock mags.
We get it. You're an influencer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if somebody gave me one, yeah, fuck yeah, I would. But I don't
What's the benefit though? What's the benefit over with those?
Anyone watching this? Anime Jerry needs a fucking AR9.
Well, I'm legitimately though. I want to know for the betterment of myself, because I've never jumped on the 9mm carbine bandwagon. I know it's popular right now, but I couldn't ever really understand what other than just the ability to use 9mm.
So what I could see it being useful for is home defense.
Okay.
Over penetration is a big fucking thing. And recently, for some reason, I've seen a lot of people talk about, and I'm not going to name who, but there's been a lot of people online talking about, oh, well, I carry ball ammo for everyday carry.
What?
Yes.
Shoot something that's alive with ball ammo and see
With ball ammo. And they go, oh, well, I train with what I shoot at the range. I go, whoa, pump the brakes here.
Train like you fight.
Pump the fucking brakes. Like, do you live alone in like rural fucking Montana? Because if you miss, which we all do, I don't care if it's 9mm, it's gonna go fucking through, plywood, and it's gonna go through fucking,
Yeah, sheetrock don't stand a chance.
No. So I personally carry hollow points, jacketed hollow points for everyday carry. I train with ball ammo, but the difference between shooting ball ammo and shooting hollow point is like marginal. I mean, you'd have to really, really suck at shooting to know the difference, or not to know the difference, but to miss by that much.
To have it affect you.
To have an effect. Thank you.
Whoa,
I was having a problem with that. But there
Overpowered
are
by the
people.
recoil.
Right. There are people preaching that they carry ball ammo, or they prefer to carry ball ammo for everyday carry. I'm like, ugh. So my biggest thing is, I guess the biggest plus is, first of all, they're fun to shoot. So
they are fucking blast.
They're super fucking fun to shoot. Second of all, over penetration. So if you do carry, like if you use it at home, you have that fucking big magazine, you have something that's stable, something that you're fucking comfortable shooting, and that's your home defense fucking weapon. Like, that's way better than a fucking handgun, dude. Like, you're way more comfortable, way more accurate with something you could brace on your fucking shoulder, you could use with both your hands, than you can a fucking handgun.
It kind of is a sub gun then. I mean, I see him and I look at him and I go, the first word that pops into my head is PDW. And I go, okay, I get it. It's a PDW. But there's so many trends, and I come from an older school of thought with the training that I received, and it's dated. And I don't do the due diligence to get on board the forums and read about this stuff, because it's always changing. 10 years ago, like Jeff said, 45 was the king shit. Now all of a sudden everybody's moving back to the 9mm, and then in 3 months from now everybody's FN57 fanboy for life, and it's the best, God's gift to rounds. From somebody that I would trust to give me some advice on this, you're saying that it would be a great asset inside of a close quarter situation, not so much a patrol rifle, but
no, never a patrol rifle. It would be good for, in my personal opinion, as your home defense weapon because of over penetration. And think about it. Who's breaking into your house, dude? Are Hajis breaking into your fucking house?
Oh yeah.
Are people with full on fucking body armor breaking into your house? Like, if you have that problem, you're already fucked. You're already fucked.
Yeah.
If you have if people with ski masks and body armor are breaking into your fucking house, you're already a fucked motherfucker. But your everyday. What's up?
John's having an autism moment.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
As law enforcement, not only are you fucked, but chances are law enforcement's fucked too. If a coordinated strike is coming to get you, we're all fucking in trouble.
Yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're already behind the power curve. You're fucked. You're done. You're done. You're absolutely done. So for me, a 9mm AR style platform is good for home defense because it's more stable, less over penetration. You have more rounds than you do with your fucking handgun. To me, it makes sense. To have an option, and it functions identical to your fucking AR, dude. It does. It really does.
So it's intuitive.
Yes, it is. It's intuitive. It's completely intuitive.
All right. I've never really stepped out of my comfort zone to ask that question. So I appreciate you giving me some education on that. And thank you. So
Next time you come through Kansas, Sawyer, we'll fucking blast some of those FMPs. And I don't know how many I fucking sold. And the only reason I really started selling them is I built one for myself and another really good friend of mine. And when I did it, I built it how I wanted it done, etc. And I got extra parts in and built some for the shop. And they just started fucking going. And man, I say this all the time, and I feel like a broken record, but 95% of the time, if not more, somebody that buys one will shoot me a message or come back to the shop saying, this is my favorite fucking gun.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Look at me. I mean, I threw that law folder on the one that I got off you, and that's my truck gun now.
Yep.
I mean, I've got my AR behind the back seats, but dude, the thing folds up. It's like 13 inches long, tip to tail. It fits inside of a little, Pelican case. They're fun to shoot. Like,
we'll get you shooting one, Sawyer.
All right. Yeah. I've seen them, like,
If
been around me at the range, and I don't want to say that I'm a purist in the rifles kind of thing. Like, if you're going to shoot a rifle caliber. If you're going to shoot a pistol caliber. I get the crossover. I love, I've been lucky out here to shoot some pretty exotic weapons with some different people in the movie biz. And, it's the PS90 or P90S, the fully automatic version of that. I shot that and I thought to myself, I'm like, wow, this is a hybrid. This is like almost a rifle cartridge with almost a rifle, but it's not quite a pistol and it's not quite a pistol cartridge. So I fell in love with the PDW world, but to me, that's almost separate from the 9mm carbine, because even though it's in the same kind of footprint, it's a whole different power level, it's a whole different ballistic level. So I wish I had more to input on that. I just right now.
So let me play devil's advocate then. So why would certain teams carry fucking MP5s?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm just saying at this moment in time, I have to be a student on this because I don't know. I just have bias, and bias is really just another way to spell ignorant. So,
well, I think part of it changed too. I mean, remember, guys, we're only like 10 years removed from the FBI, saying that the 9mm was underpowered and that they came up with a 40 to make it fancy. And next thing you know, ammo manufacturers go to, fully supported block barrels. And next thing you know, we've got plus P ammo. And I mean, like, the 9mm is fucking deadly as shit. I mean, take it out and shoot shit. I tell people all the time, like, you want to see what shit does? Go blow your ass up a squirrel, a raccoon, whatever the fuck you can point a gun at, shoot legally, and shoot it, and you'll be like, oh shit. I mean, like, you plug a coyote at 25, even 50 yards with a 9mm, it fucking blows them up.
I'm switching to rat shot then, because Bunker's been killing fuck tons of mice, man. That thing's deadly. I'm switching right now.
We just killed hogs in Texas with 9, and it works well.
Really?
I just killed a rattlesnake the other day with 9. It works well. So 9 works. Okay, guys, it does work.
So
interesting.
Rattlesnake.
I never expect that.
I'm changing. So we're talking about end of the world type scenarios, but let's say briefly before that, when in the United States of America, our current administration or one in the near future decides they are fucking coming for your gun. And John Sawyer and I have kind of had this discussion, I think more privately than anything, but I'm fucking dying to hear your thoughts on it, Gerry. Being from a law enforcement background, so you got all these hard asses that are saying, from my cold dead hands, you come to my door, I'm fucking blasting and all this shit, and you're not taking my guns. This is a kind of a two-part question. So number one, my personal feelings on the hard asses that aren't giving up their guns. 90% of them, whatever percentage, 80, 90% of them are full of fucking shit. Because when shit gets real and somebody comes to their door, either A, they don't got the fucking balls to begin with, B, they start to think about their family in the next room and, you know, how they're going to eat and survive without the income of if I decide to get tough and get pumped full of lead for believing in my rights. You know, you have that side of it. On the flip side, especially being in a rural area like I am, you have local law enforcement that say, we would never come and enforce that kind of tyranny at our level. And a lot of them, I believe, have truly, truly good hearts. But then you look at that same scenario of if they get fucking hungry, and what I mean by getting hungry, things are fucking desolate at this point in time, regardless. And they don't have anywhere else to go to make a living. This is their income to feed their family. And if they're told to go do a search and seizure house to house, they might change their fucking mind and go against what they truly believe when they start thinking about, you know, the family and things of that nature. I guess my question is to you on both sides, you know, how many do you think will actually nut up and say, fuck you, we're not giving up shit? And how many on the other side will be like, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and knock on this door or do a no-knock raid or whatever? What are your thoughts?
I recently had this, so I do a lot of Q&As on my IG, and somebody had asked me something along the lines of, are we ready for this civil war? Are we ready for the big boogaloo, or whatever the fuck you want to call it? I think that's a fucking stupid ass phrase, by the way. So let me first of all, let me talk about the boogaloo. I think it's gay as fuck. I think it's stupid. I wear Hawaiian shirts because I've been wearing Hawaiian shirts since the 80s. Okay, so fuck you and your stupid boogaloo, whatever you want to call it. It's fucking stupid. It's gay. Whatever. I'm gonna stop on that. So somebody asked me, what do you think about, you know, the next civil war? You know, what side are you gonna be on? I go, dude, honestly, most people are fucking pussies, dude. They're not gonna want to fucking fight. Because exactly what you just said. Because most people just want to go, I don't want any fucking problem, whatever. I'd rather just take care of my family, et cetera, et cetera.
I think it even extends past that. I think it extends past people love to talk shit, but I mean, how many times do you see two guys? I mean, you can have big old boys, Jeff. You could have two boys your size get right up in each other's face and get to talking shit. Now, so long as neither one of them's been drinking, 9 out of 10 times it's going to end at talking shit because people really don't want to get punched in the fucking face.
They don't.
Let alone get shot.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So most people, I mean, even people that know violence don't want to be in violent situations, dude. They don't.
No, escape and evade. Get the fuck out of there.
It's the
That
best
was going to
thing
be
to
what I
fucking
was
do.
going to say.
So most people don't want to be in fucking conflict. Now there's some fucking psycho ass fucking people that just always want fucking violence. And there's people that just want to see the fucking world burn. And we understand that. Totally understand that. But most people don't want to see fucking violence. So most people will comply initially. They will comply initially. Now, whether they comply on the long term or they're a complete fucking sellout, I don't fucking know. That's hard to say. So that's the only way that I could feasibly fucking answer that first question. Second question, your question was, would I fucking knock on doors and fucking confiscate fucking guns and do all sorts of shit?
Not necessarily you, law enforcement or, you know, military in general.
Fuck, man. Like, that's really fucking hard to say.
Sure they will.
So most, I think most would have fucking buy, dude. Most would abide by that. Now, personally, I have a lot of different means. I could fucking quit tomorrow, law enforcement tomorrow, and I'd still be able to fucking provide for my family. Like 100% would still be able to provide for my family. So I have options. Me personally, I have options. I'm afforded that. I'm blessed, dude. I'm absolutely blessed to be able to provide for my son and my dad. If I were to either quit, get fired, or say fuck you, I'm not going to fucking do that. I could do that. I personally have that option. Most cops do not have that fucking option, dude. They don't. They fucking don't. Most military personnel that join the military join for two reasons. Because they're fucking patriotic and they want to serve their country, or because they have no fucking other option.
They want to get out of the situation that they're in.
That they're currently in. And they're like, fuck this. I don't want to fucking go to jail, or I got fucking the option of go to jail or join the military, or fuck, I have nothing. I want to go to college and now I have to go. My parents are deadbeats and I have to go to fucking the military to get an education. You know, that's what they do. So most of them are going to go with the fucking beat of the drum, dude. It's fucking sad, but I think that that's what would happen. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be fucking pockets and cells of fucking people that try to do shit, but I don't think that we would have this big fucking civil uprising, civil war. Now, I'm like, shame on me if that's what fucking happens. Okay, then okay. But I just don't think that people are going to have the next civil war, dude. Like Civil War version 2.0, just I don't think it's just a thing.
It's not realistic.
I don't think it really is.
Well, but Punk, I think you also see the difference if you look at Gerry and Sawyer's current condition versus your and my living situation. For me, if it came down to it, it would be a 10-mile drive and I could be just remove myself from the confrontation. I could load all my shit up in my truck and go right down the road and I'd be off the grid in the hill and I'd be comfortable. I mean, of course there'd be creature comforts I'd be without, but I could survive and I could sustain. You could do the same. I mean, I've been to your area. Like, I mean, it ain't hard for you to go up into the Ozarks and just hide out.
I am not far from leaving. Like I'm more than 50% acclimated to Nevada and other states as of like the last few years. So I could easily leave California and say, fuck all of you and leave in a heartbeat. I would take my father, my son, and
this is a total hypothetical situation, but I mean, if that was the choice you were confronted with, would that not be your choice?
Yeah, like 99% sure I would fucking leave. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure that I would. But to say that, you know, we're going to join the resistance and we're going to fucking fight the government and we're going to fucking go all out war.
No.
Like, dude, like, let's be real, dude. This isn't Call of Duty. This isn't fucking the big boogaloo, igloo, or whatever you want to call it. You know, like it.
I only have 4 real friends. Last thing I'm going to do is go sign up with 30 guys I don't know to boo.
Yeah. Like,
well, hey, think about this too, guys. This is something that I think gets romanticized. Is you got these scenarios that people play in their heads. I don't know why they do this, but people talk about it, and I hear them, and I'm like, you're fucking dumb. You're not going to win that fight at the front door, because anybody that's in a tactical situation or been in a tactical situation knows they're not going to knock on your fucking door until they've got a second gun on the door, a third gun. They've already anticipated the fact that you're probably going to be resisting. They knew who you are before they get there. Get the fuck out of town. If you like the first thing, if I hear like, oh, sweeping gun door-to-door collections going on, I'm packing my shit. I'm driving to the woods because I want to control the fight. I will not win that battle. I can put the odds in my favor and control and create a better situation for myself if so choose to be. But that whole idea of you're going to have this blaze of glory in a fucking 6 foot by 4 foot box in front of your house, you're going to look like a piece of Swiss cheese, and those guys are going to laugh and they're going to eat something out of your fridge as they walk over your corpse. And anybody that thinks otherwise is fucking dumb. So
and they're going to paint your picture as the fucking bad guy anyways.
Absolutely.
You know, so they're going to say this guy was fucking crazy. He had a fucking arsenal and X, Y, and Z. And they're just going to feed it to the fucking media, dude. Yeah. You have
Yeah.
200 rounds. You had an arsenal, you know?
Harry, let me
It's
ask
crazy.
you this, because this is somewhere where I do see myself at near and 40 lacking. And I do admire you. I actually almost bought a pair of them fucking camoed up shorts because I thought, man, maybe if I get the fucking shorts that make me look fat, my own self-deprecating fucking emotion will
Nice.
drive me to fucking not be the fucking shape I'm in right now. But I mean, I know that you've got another page, your operational athlete. I mean, I'll be honest
That's
with
not
you.
me.
I'm
That's
not
not me.
fucking gonna outrun.
No, that's not me. That's actually not me. It's somebody it's a best friend of mine that looks really like me. That is not me.
Superman.
Okay. Well,
That
fucking
is
Wink, wink.
his
God,
name is
dude.
Matt Petch. And this motherfucker is like, holy shit. Okay, let me talk a little bit about Matt Petch. I'm gonna go
Okay,
take
well, my God, Jerry, I got to tell you, I thought, okay, cool, man. Well, we'll pretend that it's not you, but I mean, I do look at guys that talk about the boog and all this other shit, and I'm like, dude, I mean, I'm not in the best of shape, but holy shit, like, I don't think you could carry. It's appropriate to little higher, partner. You got to stand
Hey,
on the toilet,
what's
buddy.
your Patreon? I feel like I need to put $5 in your account for almost
I
seeing your
know.
penis.
This is fucking great. I like this guy, man. But I mean, I look at these guys that are 40, 50, 60 pounds overweight talking about the boog, and I'm like, dude, you can't carry your gear down the block. What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
feel attacked.
They're out of shape.
Having a hard time getting out of bed.
They're out of shape, or they have fucking metal plates as fucking body armor. They have fucking it's the weirdest thing, dude. It's the weirdest fucking things. So
They romanticize things. They
romanticize it. So back to my buddy. You talked about the operational athlete. It's a quick plug. And my buddy, the former special forces guy, and he's now a police officer in a California agency. I'm not going to say which one. And we both look very similar, both Hispanic, both mustaches, both fucking light skin. I might be dark skin right now. But this guy absolutely preaches about being not only mentally and skillfully trained, but physically trained to be able to do everything that you do. Because they all coincide together. Ultimately, they all really do coincide together. Now, you could still be a big, heavy man and perform well. You don't have to fucking have a six-pack. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about not only mental endurance, but physical endurance is what I'm talking about. And this guy is just like the epitome of all that. He emphasizes what being physically fit, mentally fit, and fucking skillfully fit is all about. So yeah, this guy's he's something else, man. He's something else. So I'm not gonna lay claim to that. The operational athlete is my boy, and I fucking love Matt. He's the shit. And that's that. I actually like look up to him, dude. He is something else.
That's pretty cool, though.
And then guys, I know I'm always the one that has to leave early, but I did really want to get Jerry's take on this. Non-metallic fucking pointy objects, man. As a law enforcement officer, what's your thoughts on them? And then as a civilian, what's your thoughts on them?
Well, I'm gonna be the first to tell you, as a law enforcement officer, if you are a law-abiding citizen, I don't give a fuck what you carry. I'm just gonna say it that. I'm gonna stay at that. If you're law-abiding, you carry whatever the fuck you want. Okay? As long as you're not breaking the law, I don't give a shit. I'm probably gonna get in trouble. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but you do what you want to do, boo-boo. Okay? You do what you want to do. Criminals can suck it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, you're all piece of shit.
Should you find somebody carrying a non-metallic object in a Sawyer, the word is
Permissive environment.
Permissive environment is what it is. I'm probably gonna ask you, where'd you get this, dude? Because I want to buy one.
You fucking dork.
Where'd you get this? You got to pass somebody, so I want to know where the fuck you got it from. Like, where's your hook, bro? Now, I carry knives, but 10 for 10, all my knives are fucking metallic. I'm going to ask you where you bought it from, and I might buy one, but I'm not going to carry it. I'm not going to carry it.
No, Jerry, you would probably just say, "Hey, I'm Jerry. I'm kind of a big deal.
You buy?
You want to send me one for free?
Can you give me yours? Can you just give me yours? You'll be fine. All right.
Run those pockets, motherfucker.
I'm on a podcast every now and then. I'll throw it out there.
I own non-metallic objects, but I don't carry them. I don't carry them. It's as simple as that. I carry, like, my knife right now, my everyday carry knife. This is the Phoenix by Tour Knives. That's a shameless plug. It is. I love this knife though. I gutted hogs with this knife. This is my fucking everyday knife. I love this.
Come to your hand knows it. Yeah.
Dude, I've cut myself countless times with this fucking knife. It's a fucking sharp ass knife. I love this knife. Most of my knives are either fixed blades, and I've had the same pocket knife. I got rid of my old pocket knife that I had for 7 years. 7 years. And I just
That's a long fucking time with a knife.
For a pocket knife.
Yeah.
And I recently replaced it with this knife. My pocket knife that I had prior to this was the pocket knife I had for 7 years on patrol. I used to pick locks with that knife. I used to shimmy shit with that knife. So I love pocket knives, but they have to be metallic. Metallic is the way to go, dude. It's just the way to go.
It's a trend though. And that's what we've killed this fucking horse. I mean, it's been beat to death. People put up something new. It's about product. It's about renewing the lifeblood of interest on Instagram. It's fad based, very infrequently science based stuff. And I think there's two schools of thought. You've got like the heavy gunners, and then you've got the wannabe roguelike spies that feel like they're Assassin's Creeding it up, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to stitch this handcuff key, albeit counter custody is a great skill to have. But the idea that a layman, and I'm going to use the word layman kind of cautiously, is gonna get themselves out of like you're handcuffed behind your back, and you've got a handcuff key sewn in your front fucking zipper.
Yeah, you prison first a handcuff.
You ain't getting out. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're not getting out. And I'm glad that you spent the $89.99 to have some 18-year-old kid in LA print that on his 3D printer and put a cool tactical sticker on the box. You feel cool. And if that validates you, God bless you. What'd you say? You do you, boo-boo?
You do you, boo-boo. You do you, boo-boo.
And I can't hate on it.
No, I'm not either. I'm not either. So look, there's a time and place, like you said, counter custody courses. I've taken quite a few. And there is some knowledge behind it, but unless you're getting ready to get fucking captured, or you're a high threat fucking target, or something to that effect, you're working behind enemy lines, and why carry all that shit? You're
on
another level at that point anyway.
Yes, you're on
get
another
some
level.
good running shoes. Get some really good running shoes. I'm a flight guy every time.
Yeah.
If I can get out of it, I'm running, dude.
You might as well have a security detail on you, dude. You might as well have a security detail on you 24/7.
Hey guys, I got a couple points here. John, sounds stupid, but we appreciate you fucking podcasting from an airport. And
Yeah,
I know that's not convenient, but it actually worked out great for us. And I know you got shit to do. Sawyer, I know you've got another meeting coming up. We're going on, I think, 2 hours, which is our longest. And I personally feel like I could go another 2 hours.
Yeah. Jerry, yeah.
With all that being said, Jerry, I know I can speak for Sawyer and John. This was fucking awesome, and we really, really, really appreciate you being on. And I would love to have you on. Huh?
Version 2.0, dude. Let's do a version 2.0, dude. I'm down. I'm game.
And we can fucking start out on knives, because I love pocket knives. We've had this discussion before in private, but we could go on and on. But I say we call it, let everybody get on with our shit. And man, this was great. Thanks again.
Yeah. Hey, and Jerry, if you find yourself looking for something to do on one of these afternoons, I'm right here in Camarillo. I'm really about 45 minutes away. I'd love to give you a tour of the facilities. Come in. I'll take you out to lunch, man.
Let's make it happen, dude. Let's make it happen. But well, I'll talk about it offline. But yeah, let's make it happen, brother. Let's make it happen.
Cool.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Be good,
See you
guys.
Take care.
Yep.
Be safe.